Good evening and welcome to the commencement exercises for Springfield Township High School's class of 2024. Thank you to our wonderful tech department. Graduation's also being streamed live for those at home. That link was sent home earlier to all families and students. The ceremony is also being broadcast live in our air-conditioned auditorium to the left of the stadium. So please forward, once again, that email link to anyone who'd like to watch our simulcast. My name is Chuck Rittenhouse, and I'm the very proud principal of our wonderful high school. At this time, will all senior band members please join the symphonic band? And while they do that, I ask that if you are able, all students, faculty, and guests please remain standing for our national anthem, which will be performed by our symphonic band. And if you could please turn and face the American flag to my left, and it is there at the clubhouse in front of the field house. And gentlemen, please remove your caps.
And bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you. You may be seated. Gentlemen, you could please put your caps back on. Thank you for such an awesome rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner. Members of the Board of School Directors, Dr. Yannicone, administrators, faculty, staff, all guests, and especially students, it is once again my pleasure to welcome you to our 2024 commencement exercises. It gives me great pleasure to introduce our first student speaker, the president of the class of 2024, Tom Hasty.
Good evening to our faculty, administrators, and board members, to our fantastic first responders, and most importantly, to the class of 2024 and their families. I realized very early on that such an extraordinary group of people as you deserve something much beyond the ordinary graduation speech. So before I jump into it, I will warn you that this speech starts off how you may expect it to, takes a wild turn, but hopefully ends off with something wonderful that we can all appreciate, just like the wild ride of 13 years we just completed. As I sat down at my desk for the third time to try writing a graduation speech, the sheer impossibility of summing up an entire era of our lives struck me once more. Even worse, how could we as a class possibly reflect on the meaning of everything we've done here when this is all that we have ever known? On a personal level, we couldn't possibly know what memories we will still cherish and what experiences will still affect us many years from now. And that's when the idea hit me. The perfect way to take the 10,000-foot view of our lives thus far would be to explain the meaning of graduation to an alien. Now, that sounds really corny, but bear with me. I promise you it gets good. An alien with no knowledge of humans might see us gathered here today and ask, why are you all dressed exactly the same, in an outfit you will wear one day out of your entire life? Why are all these people watching you walk across a platform to get a little piece of paper? What sort of cult of the four-pointed hat is this? And I hope that we would all respond with something along the lines of this. That is a great question, my friend. What it ultimately comes down to is that today is important. Really, really important. As young humans, we have spent a full 13 years of our lives cooped up together, preparing essentially for whatever we may face in life. But being so close to these people for so long, there are friends we've made, parents, teachers, and communities that have guided us. These are all people who have left an indelible mark on our lives. They have touched us so closely that whether we like it or not, they have influenced who we are as people. In our 13 years here, some of them have built us up, some have taught valuable life lessons, some have inspired our own creativity, some we have spent the most fun moments of our lives with, and some have even taught us high school mathematics. But they have also been the people who have been with us in our most painful moments, when we are most vulnerable. Those are the moments that forge the greatest bonds and the greatest trust. And for the past 13 years of our lives, we have faced those difficult moments together, as classmates, as families, and as a greater Springfield community. But today marks the moment where that all changes. The robes, the diplomas, and the big silly caps, they're all markers that something is happening today, which happens on no other day. Just like the wind. Today, Springfield tells us that no matter how prepared you feel, you are ready. The knowledge we've gained, the relationships we've shared, and the community we have built has all been in preparation for this day when we are sent out into the world. Never again will we have this particular environment. Never again will the class of 2024 rush through the halls to class or brave the difficulties of life together. But as we go out into the world, the spirit of Springfield will continue to dwell within us. Our lives may all be headed in different directions, but no matter where we go, we will bring a small piece of Springfield with us. And every person we meet will bring a small piece of their community to us. Some of the relationships we have built here will endure forever, and some may not. But what we have learned at Springfield is how to build a community, while the community has formed us as individuals. We now have the great opportunity to go out into the world as ambassadors of our childhoods, to expand, to share, and to connect with the entire world. Like dandelion seeds, we will spread all over, building our own communities and bringing the beauty of what we have done here to the rest of the world. Now, who knows how much of that our alien friend will understand, and who knows how much of that even we will understand. It can be easy to snicker and go, that's a really grand way to describe school. But I think that the most important thing for us to realize today is that no matter how much you love this school, every one of us was a part of its community, and it has both built us and given us the tools to contribute to this world. Wherever we end up, we are forever proud Spartans who shared these moments together and will continue to build communities of our own. Thank you, Springfield, for being our home, and thank you, class of 2024, for being some of the most incredible people I've ever known. Happy graduation.
Thank you and congratulations, Tom. Our next student speaker, Zane Kolodner, is the salutatorian of the class of 2024. And Zane, as you approach the podium, I'd also like to acknowledge that you won the William Penn Charter and SDR Good Citizens Award. I made an oversight at yesterday's awards, and congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you to birthday boy Tommy Hasty. And thank you, friends, family, faculty, and fellow graduates for being here today. It's an honor to celebrate this milestone with the trailblazing class of 2024. It would be disingenuous to suggest that our high school career has been easy. We've struggled through COVID, war in Ukraine and Gaza, contentious elections, and widespread division. Even within our own school, we've dealt with bigotry, violence, and loss. Through these last 4 years, however, we've built a lasting legacy of strength through leadership. Over the past few years, our district has recommitted itself to the protection and advancement of diversity, equity, and inclusion in our community. I myself helped coordinate this change with the founding of the STHS Jewish Affinity Group. I wanted to take this rare time to highlight the amazing work our students have helped spearhead in order to leave a better community for our siblings, friends, and families. 55 years ago, my late great-uncle, Dr. Mark Lichtenstein of the Springfield class of 1969, and his fellow courageous seniors stood on this stage to protest the U.S.'s involvement in the Vietnam War. They said, "We feel that the major goal of formal education should be the development of social consciousness in the individual." They called for Springfield to humanize education. It would have been my honor to tell Uncle Mark how far we've come and how much we've accomplished. Our district is designated a No Place for Hate district by the ADL, thanks to the Spartan Culture Committee. We've had 2 separate Holocaust survivors come to speak at the high school, thanks to the Jewish Affinity Group. We've had numerous James Taylor Diversity Day and Financial Literacy Day events, thanks to Voices of Excellence. Just this year, the ASA, Asian Student Association, was founded. We, the class of 2024, have both created and inspired the change we wanted to see in our community. If I had to explain to Tommy's alien the pride which I have in this class, I'd be at a loss for words. There's no greater legacy we can leave behind than one which drives the coming generation to fight for their own change. In calling out the leaders of our community for their inaction, we reject the bystander mentality which plagues our generation. We will, with the help of our teachers, family, and friends, leave the school while re-emphasizing the acute need for further progress. As seniors, we've had the unique opportunity to shape our school into our own vision of social progress. I hope we've shown to the coming classes that there is no Springfield without your leadership. There is no change without the willingness to take a risk, throw your name into the hat, and take charge. No matter where we choose to be next year, it will be crucial to be actively involved in the betterment of whichever community you choose, as well as to support the education of those who have not been provided the rare opportunity to hear from diverse viewpoints in a safe environment. As we've shown time and time again, it is not only the big things that make a difference. Clubs such as NHS, Sustainability Club, and Interact have proven that individual service is just as important to our community. Whether through DEI initiatives, blood drives, or cleaning up our parks and green spaces, the service we do in our community matters. In leaving Springfield, we greet the whirlwind of political and social division head on. We must not be afraid to speak loudly, protest often, and refuse to be ignored. Take small steps and make subtle changes to fight for the advancement of each and every new community you find yourself a part of. To quote the fearless protesters of 1969, "We are leaving Springfield and pray that the spirit of progress for which we have worked this year will be continued and surpassed by the efforts of all community members and by the efforts of next year's senior class. Education should be viewed as the true process for furthering the hopes of humanity." Thank you, class of 2024, for inspiring the change which we so desperately need in the world.
Thank you and congratulations, Zane. Our next student speaker, Jack McKittrick, is a valedictorian of the class of 2024.
Good evening, Springfield. Our stadium is the perfect place to host graduation. At Springfield High School, our learning extended beyond the classroom, whether through participation in a club, musical group, or sport. Like many of you, I prefer playing on the stadium field rather than sitting on it. Therefore, I will share a simple but meaningful graduation speech. Being only 18 and someone who loves to read quotes, I knew I needed to incorporate the wisdom of others and choose impactful quotes to share. I set out to write a speech that would resonate with all of us. After all, we have all reached the same point. We are all high school graduates. We have just accomplished something remarkable, completing 13 years of education. If we were to start working on something new from tomorrow, it would take us until our early 30s to reach the same 13-year milestone. Therefore, it's important to recognize our accomplishments and to acknowledge what has led us here today. Albert Einstein stated, "The future is an unknown, but a somewhat predictable unknown. To look to the future, we must first look back upon the past. That is where the seeds of the future were planted." So let's look back together. It is easy to mistakenly think that the elementary and middle school years were simple, but in reality, each grade level presented a new set of challenges that you overcame. In elementary school, you acquired the essential skills of reading and writing. During the middle school years, your expectations were higher and you had to work harder. In high school, the content became increasingly difficult and you expanded your knowledge. Throughout those years, there was probably days where you didn't feel like waking up, struggled to write a few sentences, solve all the math problems, or simply get through the school day. But you persevered. Robert Collier, a successful author, said, "Success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out." You've completed 2,353 small efforts, or days of school, demonstrating a consistent record of success that provides a strong foundation for your future. Today, I encourage you to reflect on what contributed to your success. Too often, we analyze only when things go wrong and fail to note what led to our success. Before acknowledging the influence of others, it's important to recognize that the most significant factor in your success has been yourself. Throughout your academic journey, you've encountered different teachers, classmates, friends, and sometimes even changed buildings. But the one thing that has remained constant is you. What qualities of yours have enabled you to reach this point? Was it your positive attitude, determination, ability to work with others, or willingness to seek assistance when needed? Inside, you have traits that lead to success. Recognize and be proud of those traits, knowing you have them to use again. Zig Ziglar, a motivational speaker, said, "You are the only one who can use your ability. It's an awesome responsibility." Next, take the time to think about the role others have played in your success. Was it your family, your classmates, teammates, teachers, or a group of 5 friends that played a valuable role? Recognize how important it is to have the right people in your life. Surround yourself with them and seek out others to achieve even greater things. Sandra Day O'Connor, the first woman to serve on the U.S. Supreme Court, said, "We don't accomplish anything in the world alone, and whatever happens is the result of the whole tapestry of one's life and all the weavings of individual threads from one to another that create something." We have the ability to weave together our actions and interactions with others to shape the world. The future, full of possibilities, is ours to create together. Through our past experiences, we've developed the necessary skills and connections to build a promising future. As Einstein stated, we have planted the seeds of the future. Walking into a kindergarten classroom marked the beginning of your educational journey. Now, 13 years later, look how far you've come. Move forward with confidence and continue building upon your success. You don't need to have it all figured out. After all, the future arrives just one day at a time. If we take small steps in the right direction, our combined steps can create a significant impact. As Martin Luther King Jr. stated, "You don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step." And if you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. Congratulations, Springfield High School class of 2024. You've prepared yourselves for a great future. Continue moving forward.
Thank you and congratulations, Jack, and thank you to all three speakers. Great job. It is now my distinct pleasure to introduce Dr. Mary Jo Yannicone, Superintendent of the School District of Springfield Township. On behalf of the entire high school community in our school district, I'd like to publicly thank and acknowledge your support, leadership, and guidance during the school year. Please welcome Dr. Yannicone.
Good evening. It's my pleasure to join you tonight to celebrate the class of 2024. Thank you to our leadership team at the high school, Mr. Ferraro, Dr. Scragan, Mr. LaRocco, and Dr. Rittenhouse, for the dedication and commitment you have each shown this year on behalf of our students. It's traditional for school and district leaders to provide advice to graduates at commencement. During my tenure as superintendent, I've started a tradition for outsourcing that advice with letters from our second graders. I've chosen this age group in part because they're 10 years behind you in their schooling, but also because they are not yet in the drama of life. I find second graders to be pure of heart and mind, intelligent, thoughtful, caring, and not yet caught up in self-consciousness. They speak the truth without apology, and they're funny too. The class of 2034 has much to share about their hopes for you as graduates. Each of you will find a handwritten letter and picture from a member of the second grade class in your diploma cover as you arrive up onto the stage today. I'd like to thank our second grade teachers and all of their students for helping with this special project each year. So here's some advice from your second grade friends. Patrick says, congratulations on graduation. You should be really proud of your accomplishments. Keep on keeping on. He sounds mature beyond his years. Rosalind says, if you don't succeed, keep trying. Never quit. Always, always, always keep trying. I'm counting on you. You are the heir to my balloon. Will says, always try to do your best, make friends, be smart, make good choices, and you will be successful. Jack, you're going to be the best as a grown-up. Go crush whatever the heck you're going to do. You've got this. P.S. Remember to be nice, share, and be helpful. You rock. Ella gets a little serious. When you move on with your life, there may be challenges in your way, but that's okay. Have fun with your life. Be wild. You got this. I know you will be really great. I just know it. Abby, I think you should do your best in class and never give up, and I mean never, double underlined, give up. I also think that you should take time to be silly and laugh. Scott, keep being safe, healthy, strong, and kind. If you get mad sometimes, use mindful breathing, and that might help. Your supporting friend, Scott. Owen, good job, you made it. 12 years in school, we are all proud of you. I hope you get a job, have money, and get a house. But most of all, have a great life. Have fun with your awesome journey. We will miss you at Springfield. Good job once again on that journey of life. Everett, never stop dreaming because that is how to have a happy life. Have a good time doing what you love. Sylvia's a wild card for me. Sylvia says, remember to try new foods. Keep getting smarter and remember to use your 4 safety tools. P.S. The 4 safety tools are trust your feelings, try to say no, try to walk away, and tell an adult. I hated to break it to Sylvia that you are now the adult. Mia, if you get scared, just breathe slowly. And listen to your business owner if you have one, and always behave. Zach, just because you finished school, you should still be safe, respectful, and responsible. That's a nod to our elementary principals. Kateri, who's a member of our student advisory for this second grade. Remember, no matter what, you are loved. And do not put down your hopes. If there are bumps in the road, don't let them stop you. We love you, your family loves you, you will succeed, you are a great person. Alexa, enjoy the rest of your beautiful life, I may be far, but I can see your future. Be happy and don't give up. Be brave enough to finish the rest of your life. Keep on doing the things you love. Be happy for the rest of your life and take your time. Don't be in a rush. Thomas, every single person in the district hopes you have great luck. Keep on going and do your best, even if it gets hard. We'll always support you. There must have been something in this one class about psychics, because Robert is the second futurist. I'm not a psychic, but I see your future. It's happy, and I see you smiling on the bigger stage. Your journey has just begun. Layla, I believe you can be whatever you want to be. You make a difference. You are amazing. Good job. You are important. And our last two, Piper, think hard. Make mistakes so you can learn from your mistakes. Make friends, have fun, and be happy. And Dash, congratulations. You deserve to do all of your favorite things and be yourself always and anywhere. Be what you want to be and do what you want to do. Celebrate all that you have done. Be proud of yourself and always try your best. Seniors, I hope you've enjoyed beginning your day today being cheered on by the students at our elementary and middle schools and ending it celebrating for the last time as a class here tonight in Spartan Stadium. Thank you for everything you have contributed to make Springfield such a great community. As your classmates have shared, your high school years had many ups and downs, and you've weathered some significant and unusual challenges as students. However, it would be unfortunate for you to leave this phase of life believing that confronting challenges and working to overcome them is a unique experience. Adaptation to change is an essential component of being and staying alive. Charles Darwin once said, "It is not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent, but the one most responsive to change." I encourage you to accept that change is inevitable, challenge is ubiquitous, and growth is essential. Embrace what comes, adapt, learn, and keep growing. You will always have a home here in Springfield, filled with people who love and believe in you and will support you throughout your lives. Congratulations and thank you, class of 2024.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Yannicone. As a senior class, you've had such an extraordinary school year, including acceptances to outstanding at various colleges, universities, trade school, the armed services, and/or pursuing or having accepted a job in your field of interest. NAM, or the National Association of Music Merchants, named our district again as one of the top school districts in music education in the entire country. 22 varsity teams participated in postseason competition. That's 128 student athletes achieved all Lake District and state recognition, with 16 student athletes participating in college sports next year. Our musicians, artists, thespians achieved local, district, state, national, and international honors and recognition, and many will continue so at the collegiate level. Our student organizations were prominent leaders at the local, county, state, and national levels. Outstanding AP scores and level of participation, outstanding SAT scores and achievement in National Merit Scholarship Program. At the Senior Awards Assembly yesterday, we distributed over 100 academic and athletic awards totaling almost $20,000. And of particular interest to me, principals notice these things, 100% attendance, which is great. Usually we have a couple kids who aren't there, and 100% of the kids were there yesterday, and I certainly don't, I don't fail to notice that. Entertaining plays, musicals, concerts, a wonderful art show, and a safe and fun school year. This is an outstanding senior class. This is my 26 years as a high school principal. I think it's 30 years as an educator. And in over a quarter of a century, I've learned that the tone and overall school culture of any high school is influenced greatly by the members of the senior class. And wow, is this an awesome senior class, like I said earlier. I have an immense amount of love and admiration for all of you. You're the best. And I'm in all of your resilience, your leadership, student voice, school spirit, and positive attitude. From day one in September, our senior class Spartans quickly accepted the challenge of the school year. Each day you were able to get it done in the classroom, at home, on the stage, and out on our fields. And to my awesome staff here at the high school, and to all the awesome staff in the school district, thank you, thank you, thank you for your flexibility, working tirelessly before school, after school at night, over the weekend, and being responsive to our students and family. You are a great inspiration to all of us. So we could have a round of applause for our wonderful staff, please. I'd like to acknowledge that 3 of our high school and district staff members will be retiring next week. District Network Administrator Ginny Wexler, can we have a round of applause for her, please? Special Education Teacher Kristen Scher, a round of applause. And Mrs. Buchanan, who dared work with me for 11 years as the assistant to the high school principal, my entire career at the high school. If we could have a round of applause for Mrs. Buchanan. Each year, students at Springfield are given the opportunity to select a faculty commencement speaker. This year, the students selected Mr. Tom Vitsa, math teacher here at the high school. Students and the community here this evening, please welcome your selection for faculty speaker, Mr. Vitsa.
I'm humbled and thank you. Dr. Rittenhouse, Dr. Yannicone, school board members, faculty, distinguished guests, parents, immediate extended family, friends, and of course the class of 2024, welcome. Someone said to me, I heard this is the 3rd time you're speaking. You must be running out of things to say. I saw their comment as a great opportunity for me to practice forgiveness. So you got together and you said, well, we need some words. The pizza guy he's got words. So let's get him to do it, right? Okay, well, before I give you my words, we're going to unpack some of your words, and then I'm going to finish with some borrowed words. But first, let's reminisce. Can you believe it? Another 4 years just came and went. Not just any 4 years, though, your 4 years. I mean, we were just getting used to Carter Weiss, and now he's leaving us. And, well, for those of you who know Carter, it takes a good 4 years to get used to his little Carterisms, so we're going to miss him. I remember your freshman year of high school. You've all seemed to have grown so much because, well, to me, you were all 2 inches tall, thanks to Zoom and COVID. And it was really quite a surprise when I met Jordan Harris when you guys all came back to school. That year, many of you found great consolation in our sports programs. Even though you were required to run around on our fields wearing masks, it gave you a sense of belonging and togetherness. It was a break from you being confined to the couch. But the couch is also where we marveled at the epic production of the theory of relativity that year. It was proof that the show must go on, and it always does when Marlene Thornton sits in the director's chair. We're so lucky to have her. And the golf team won a division championship that year, so that was pretty solid. Sophomore year came next. Many of you describe it as freshman year 2.0. Homecoming was more about you coming home than alums visiting their old haunt. Your presence was becoming known, and your friendships were becoming more deeply forged. And the golf team won a division championship again that year. Junior year was tough. The work level ramped up. Thoughts of what you would, could, and should do after high school started to weigh heavily upon you. The unknowns and fears that follow crept into your minds, as they're certain to do. Boys soccer took our school to a place we've never been before, and it was such a wild ride. The team uplifted the whole community and set a high bar for soccer in this town for years to come. Hold on, my pages are stuck. Junior year. And the golf team won another division championship that year. And then it happened, your senior year. Slowly, the unknowns of next year started to become known. Your friendship started to have an element of something you never experienced before. The element of becoming increasingly aware that you were going to miss each other. And the time to start down separate roads was nearly upon you. The soccer team took us back to states, and what the scoreboard did not measure was a bond of brotherhood that few people get to experience. For many of the players, it was a journey that started on these community fields years ago, with juice boxes and forgotten shin cards and running off to Chick-fil-A after the games. In some ways, that journey will never end, because the deep togetherness required to accomplish what you accomplished has bonded you to each other permanently. In that way, it was worth every tear. I like to think those tears were partly wiped away that year when the golf team won its 4th straight division championship. Okay, now that we're done reminiscing, I want to share some words from your classmates, things I think you'll benefit much more from than my words. Some names I'm going to mention, some names I won't. I talked to Kenny Granderson this week. We talked about what Kenny appreciated about being here. Kenny said he's grateful for building such a strong network that he can and will access for years to come, a network of people he knows are going to be successful, and he's going to be able to reach out to them, whether it's business or personal, for the rest of his life. We talked about how Springfield has such a strong sense of community, and he could drop in on multiple people multiple times a day. And a lot of you told me this week about how you feel about this place being a community. So when you get to where you're going, look for that community. If you don't find it, you either need to be the person who starts making it, or you got to consider pulling up the tent spikes, moving down the road, and finding a place that has that. After Kenny, I spent some time with Angela Eater. We cried. And when I say we cried, I mean she cried enough for the both of us. But then she gave me words, good words, words that you need to hear. She said the most valuable thing she learned here was in Mr. McCaslin's AP Calc class. He taught her that you have to believe in yourself. You have to have the type of belief that allows you to succeed when things are hard. And you have to realize that that belief really can only come from you. So when you get to where you're going and things get hard, remember what Angela said. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, I got this. And I hope that your go-to person is found in every mirror you look at in the rest of your life. I heard some simple and great advice this week, too, from one of my absolute favorite humans. Be kind and respect everyone, even if they look different. Simple and powerful. One young woman's words to me are usually much like this. Mr. Vitzi, you know I'm your favorite student ever. Emma Yoder. But she put those words aside. Springfield is truly a special place, she told me. I couldn't have wanted to grow up anywhere other than this community. It's the place where I found my voice. And hear the words of Gabe Fluer. Springfield has helped me reach new levels I never knew I had in me. 2 years ago, I didn't think I'd become a camera kid. I thought I'd be playing Division I lacrosse. I declined those offers because I found such a passion with the camera, and Springfield is really responsible for helping me realize that. And one quick last one. A great young woman told me this week, while it might feel like the end of everything right now, it's also super fun and exciting. It's a new beginning. Live in the moment, embrace it, make the most of it, because change is so very important. Well, guys, thanks for the speech help. You're better than ChatGPT. Prefer real intelligence to artificial intelligence. And now I'm going to add my words, my thing, to send you out there with. So here goes. What I want to tell you is that people are flawed by their very nature. Perfection is something great to aspire to, but it's a bit of a myth. None of us is without flaw. And I probably sit at the top of that list. Heck, if there were a company out there called Imperfections Are Us, I could probably be the CEO, but I'd probably just screw that up. Dad joke? No? Okay. Don't be discouraged by this fact that people are flawed, because I'm not. I actually take great consolation in it. I see great people throughout history They've done incredible things, and I'm empowered by the fact that they're imperfect, because in that way, they're like me. And then I think maybe someday, just maybe, I could be like them and achieve some type of greatness despite my flaws. Gandhi, JFK, Dr. Martin Luther King, Mother Teresa, all achieved greatness and impacted the world around them for the better, yet they stumbled on the way. They had their share of shortcomings. The list goes on and on. Einstein, Edison, Jefferson, Aung Suu Kyi, Randy Macho Man Savage, our very own beloved Coach Shelley. All imperfect, yet they've achieved incredible things on behalf of humanity. And speaking of Coach Shelley's flaws, Coach, am I ever getting my Tupperware back? I mean, I know it's Tupperware, but like, you know, I didn't ask, but it's Tupperware. You don't have to ask. You just kind of get it back. It's been 6 months, but we'll talk about that later. Anyway, don't get me wrong. Greatness is not solely reserved for those who catalyze political and social change. Greatness can be achieved person to person. Despite our flaws, all of us have tremendous capacity for love, kindness, generosity, compassion. When you do these things, you do achieve a type of greatness, an important type of greatness. You might not be the one person who's changing the world, but you might be changing the world for one person. And even though I'm a mathematician akin to quantifiable ideas, I romantically subscribe to the notion that the effects of love and kindness are unquantifiable. So when you get to where you're going, maybe think of the words from your classmates, maybe a silly thing or two I've said to you on the way. But first, I want to pass down some words from long ago from someone I hope you find them as hopeful and as compelling as I do. They're from Stephen Grey, a French Quaker missionary. He worked in hospitals and prisons in North America and Europe in the 1800s. And this is what he said. I expect to pass through this world but once. Any good, therefore, I can do, any kindness that I can show to any fellow creature, let me do it now. Let me not defer it or neglect it, for I shall not pass this way again. Spartans, you get one go on the crazy marble here. Use it well. We all love you guys. Now, it's time for you to get out there one last time and be what's right with Springfield Township High School. See ya.
Thank you, Mr. Vitsa. At this time, the Springfield Township High School Symphonic Band will play the selection Air for Band, and the combined choir will sing When I Grow Up from Matilda. Members of the band and chorus, the senior class, may join their ensembles now.
I will be smart enough to answer all the questions that you need to know the answers to before you're all grown up. And when I grow up, I will eat sweets every day on the way to work, and I will go to bed late every night, and I will wake up when the sun comes up, and I will watch cartoons until my eyes go square, and I won't care 'cause I'll be all grown up when I grow up. When I grow up, I will be strong enough to carry all the heavy things you have to haul around with you when you're a grown up.
And when I grow up,
I will be brave enough to fight the creatures that you have to fight beneath the bed each night to be a grown up. I will have treats every day, and I'll play with things that Mom pretends that moms don't think are fun. And I will wake up when the sun comes up, and I will spend all day just lying in the sun. And I won't burn 'cause I'll be all grown up when I grow up. When I grow up, when I grow up, when I grow up, nothing will change. When I grow up, when I grow up, when I grow up, I might as well be saying I think that it's okay. And that's not right. When I grow up, when I grow up, when I grow up, when I grow up, when I grow up.
Could we please have another round of applause for Mr. Gottesman, Mrs. Benton, all of our town of musicians for performing this evening? Sound great? One of the best lines before I introduce the class for any principal to say, I guess it's 9 words. 100% of the senior class is graduating tonight, which is always very exciting. Dr. Yannicone, Superintendent of Schools, and the School District of Springfield Township Board of Directors, on behalf of the Springfield Township High School faculty and administration, it is my honor and privilege to certify to you that these members of the Springfield Township High School class of 2024 have met all graduation requirements established by the Pennsylvania Department of Education in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and by the School District Springfield Township Board of Directors are eligible to receive their diplomas this evening. Dr. Yannicone.
Thank you, Dr. Rittenhouse. I accept the list of graduates for the class of 2024 as presented and affirm my approval. To the members of the Board of School Directors, I certify that the students seated before you have met all of the requirements and obligations for receiving their high school diploma from the School District of Springfield Township. Please join me as we call each graduate forward to receive their high school diploma.
Thank you, Dr. Yannicone. We will now begin awarding diplomas to the class of 2024. As this is a formal ceremony, I respectfully request that our guests refrain from the use of noisemakers, horns, or any other distractions. Please keep in mind that each student deserves to have his or her name announced and heard during the ceremony. If you are a staff member or dignitary and will be presenting your student here at the high school their diploma, please walk to the stage when the row they are in stands up. Will the students in this first row here please stand up at this time?
Jack McKittrick. Zane Dari Kolodner. Thomas Pedro Hasty. Liberty Adabonwi. Kayla Ann Akins. Layla Rossini Alfonsi. Viola Amzai. Dominic G. Antonucci. Daniel Ryan Bailey. Mira Bechtel. Alyssa Marie Banco. Sophia Claire Bolger. John Boyce. Hannah Mary Brandon. Hannah Rose Brandreth. Luke Brightcliffe. Daniel Buckner. Matthew Bunkin. Caleb Raphael Kalins. Marcel Brian Camper. Matthew McKendry Capaferri. Kai L. Carter. Nicholas Arthur Caruso. Emerson Ray Cashman. Jacob Ryan Christ. Anna Clark. Jalen Clifton. Francine Cohen. Catherine Cohen. Kieran Joseph Cohen. Nora Conlin. Thomas Koppel. William Cross. Genevieve Cummings. David D'Amico. Grace Kathleen Daly. Jayla Daniels. Sadie Darga. Naomi Elizabeth Davis. Alana Decker. Tyler Kyle DeFreitas. Bree Alexis Dennison. Ayla Rose D. Batista. Ashley Donnell. Charlotte Filomeno Drapkin. Olivia Drury. Grace Duncheski. Sean Patrick Durkin Jr. Angela Marie Eder. Lauren C. Edwards. Justin Michael Engler. Avery Deanna Etlin. Cole Furman. Just right down the ramp there. Kaylee Rose Evans. Sophie Jean Evans. Nathan Falcone. Clara Farrell. Marnie Feist. Adam Floor. Gabriel John Floor. Madeline Fritsch. Miles Justin Goodwin. Jonathan Blaze Galanti. Mary Kate Gallagher. Brian Nicholas Garbarini. Audrey Marie Gardner. Andrew John Garrettson. Mateo Cruz Jeb. Eloise Gescu. Ryan James Gibbons. Sophia Mary Glodek. Layla Lee Goodman. Kenneth Ernest Granderson, Jr. Brianna Anye Green. Kayla Renee Hamlin. Jabri Niam Green. Jordan Emmanuel Harris. Eric James Henderzak. Andre Jamal Henry Jr. Sarah Lynn Herzig. Maxwell Jonathan Hershey. Holly Kimmel. Matthew Hood. Talar Hosepian. Lucas Hankey. Anna Colleen Highland. Jana Anara Ivanik. Camia Michon James. Ethan Jong. Richard Jones. Jordan Suzanne Kempner. Ashley Kim. Elizabeth Lean Klein. Henry David Knowles. Ashley Wynn Lam. Austin Thomas Landy. Addison Rose Lacato. Luke Sunyan Lee. Nathan Levy. Ryan Lewis. Cameron Joan Lacoli. Amanda Janine McHale. Vincent Lynn. Ivan Luna. Kieran Christopher Marino. Nicholas Vincenzo Marino. Riley Cole Martin. Catherine Irene Matthews. Olivia Grace McCormick. Madeline McDevitt. Samantha McDevitt. Samir Mohammed. Ryan Patrick McKelvey. Elizabeth Mary McMurray. Ashley Mellon. Cami Christine Anella Marigan. Wes Mitchner Wall. Julian Mitchell. Rhea Salvador Morales. Ezra Parks. Sky Hawkins Peterson. Maya Kathleen Pizzica. Julian L. Needleman. An T. Win. Devin Nolan. Emma Nolan. Kaylee Christine Noonan. Eric Richard Nordland. Matthew Thomas O'Hara. Juliet Odom. Vanessa May Page. Hillary Plunkett. Alexa Popoca Cortez. Amelia Elizabeth Price. Samuel Robert Pugh. Rishan Loshan Aramdas. Cassandra Renee Raphael. Ella Susan Rathburn. Luke Squilaro. Sophia Seslow. Thomas Henry Shevlin. Grace Susanna Rebeck. Lucia Reeves. Jennifer Nicole Rex. Fiona Rizzo. Jolie Ann Robinson. Amber Elizabeth Sarr. Kylie Bijou Scales. Mira Elaine Schreffler. Timothy Campbell Shuksta. Chloe Self. Ethan John Shore. Luca Michael Simic. Deweese William Smith. Brett Thomas Smith. Avery Cecilia Spencer. Ashton Stein. Carter Bo Weiss. Keegan Russell Wells. Adam Joseph Westergom. Holly Alira Wiener. Carrie Cecilia Strandberg. Iona Madeline Podage Stum. India Snow Stutman. Teresa Helen Talbot. Samaya Patricia Thompson. Jack Vecchione. Francis Michael Walsh. Joseph Walsh. Caitlin Rachel Walton. Thomas Watson. Mariah Morgan Williams. Madeline Williams. Jordan Marcus Williamson. Sophie Williamson. Francis Finnegan Willman. Luke Brandon Winsky. Brooks Wallace Wright. Montana Wright. Kaylin Mara Yaskowski. Emma Yoder. In absentia, Elton Alley, Noah Lacey, Owen T. McGowan.
Can we have another round of applause for this wonderful class? I would like to thank the many individuals involved in making tonight's ceremony possible. Can we please have a round of applause for all these individuals? At this time, all graduating members of our band and chorus are asked to join their ensembles as we honor Springfield Township with the performance of our alma mater. I ask everyone, and that means the class of 2024 and all of our guests, to please stand if you're able and join us in the singing of the Springfield Township High School alma mater. If I can sing Beauty School Dropout for Greece, you can sing the alma mater. The words are in the program at the bottom of the first page for our students, and the words for the alma mater for the students are behind the diploma. There should be a little sheet in there. And once again, guests and staff, please remain standing at this time. Seniors, please remain standing. Guests and staff, you may be seated at this time. Once again, seniors, please remain standing. And guests may be seated. I'd like Class President Tom Hasey to join me for the ceremonial turning of the tassel. But before we do that, a reminder to students that after you turn your tassel and throw your cap into the air, I ask that you gather your cap, do your best to go back to your seat, and recess out of the stadium in an orderly fashion. And it's a final thank you for not laughing when I say that. I appreciate that.
All right, class of 2024, just one more thing before we can graduate, the turning of the tassel. But before we do that, I get to read some history to you. Universities and colleges used caps and tassels as early as the 14th century as a way to show that you were educated or had a clever brain. Tassels are worn on the right side of the cap before the ceremony and are then moved to the left side to indicate that the wearer has passed from one level of learning to another. So class of 2024, will you join me on the count of 3 to turn your tassel? 1, 2, 3. Woo!
As seniors, do your best, please, to find your cap or a cap and return to your seats. We'll process out in a minute or two. Okay, seniors, one last thing. If you can return to your rows, sort of, I'd appreciate it. We'll process out in about 30 seconds. And at this time, I ask that the staff, you can please leave your seats and line up in the lane closest to the stands and with the fence to your back to greet the students, or you may process out of the stadium. It gives you a chance to say hello. This year, as in past years, we'll process out of the stadium as follows. I will lead the procession with all the individuals on the stage. Students follow the lead of Mr. LaRocco and Dr. Z and Mr. Ferraro 2 by 2 like you did walking in the stadium. You will follow Mr. LaRocco and Dr. Z and walk past the staff. Once again, will be lined up at the fence. Again, staff, you have a choice of waiting along the fence to speak to graduates, process out. For our dignitaries, thanks for attending your support. Please follow the graduates and or exit via the stadium gates. And if we could have one more round of applause for this wonderful class, please. And family and guests, if you could please remain in place until we begin. And students, and this is a big no smoking zone here, no smoking on campus. Again, thanks for not laughing. Yes, we may. Let's go.